Hey guys, that was DJ Fuji. Did a really, really, really awesome job. Very, very happy I had him out this year. Next up, this will be the last individual speech of the 2009 21 convention. Kind of special for my former roommate of Project Orlando. He lived with me last year. You know, he spoke at the convention last year too. He did a great job. And when I lived with him, in case you guys aren't familiar with him, I saw him hook up with a ridiculous amount of girls. And my roommate, too many, not too many, but an almost stupid amount. All right, it was insane. I think a lot of you guys know this from his name Ratisse and the stigma kind of following his name because it's such a ridiculous number. We had a ton of fun hanging out, living together last year. Break, went on a cruise. It was just balling out of control, man. This guy's totally nuts with women. But anyway, he has some great content. He just drove down from Chicago. Yeah, Chicago. It's a long drive for you guys, and he's here. And he has a Facebook page. So you guys about later. Blah blah blah. Get going, man. Have fun.
Cool. Awesome. Thanks, bro.
Yep.
I guess I'll just get started with this right off the bat. I pretty much for the last 4, 5, 6 months, I was wondering what I wanted to do with pickup. You know, because I got to a certain point where I actually felt extremely comfortable anywhere I go that I would be cool with not having any friends, being dropped off, and be great. And I thought about it, I'm like, I could either A, leave the community, because I looked at it, what else am I gonna learn, or B, I could try and help other people. I mean, that was the big thing. So right now, where I'm at is, my Facebook page is Ratisse, space PUA, R-A-T-I-S-S-E, space PUA. I answer pretty much free advice for everyone. I have a bunch of free shit that I put out there, with like day game, inner game, you know, all types of shit. And I'm going to start recording live, putting that stuff on there, links for that, pretty much just to break down my game. And part of the reason that I want to do that is because when I got into this, I was a semi-natural that, like, I developed that. But when I got in this, it was Venusian Arts, you know, the handbook, and I did not know what actually to do. I just kind of ran with it and figured the shit out on myself. It wasn't like I had a guide. I didn't have something to follow. And I didn't feel like taking a boot camp because I looked at it, I'm like, okay, well, I came into this, I had already fucked 44 girls. I'm like, I don't know if I really need to take a boot camp because I'm at least doing something right. I just don't know what the fuck it is. So then over the next 2.5 years, by doing that and actually paying attention to this, my game is transformed so dramatically where when I go in a venue, it's like chess to me. Where I'm like I already have a blueprint in my head of how I want to work the venue, what I want to do with logistics, what I want to do with this, what I want to do with that. So like my goal right now is to actually help other individuals that were in my scenario, in your scenario where there's really nothing out there that you can actually just grab and, okay, if I want to learn this style, I want to learn this, I want to do that, and it's free. So honestly, for me, I do teach boot camps, but that's, you do have to pay for my time just because honestly, like I have a social life and everything, but I want to put it on a website. So for anyone that wants to actually just go out there and go do it, it's there. And with further ado with that, I wanted to get into working the venue because that is actually key. For me, I look at it with the venue, I don't do the typical thing that I used to do, which was, okay, open set here, open set here, open set here, open set here. And I would basically take it until either I got blown out or, you know, make out and maybe pulled or whatever. Now my game is actually transformed to a totally different level. And part of that was because I had to learn like how to game completely sober. And I started learning with short setting. And then I met AFC Adam. And he actually, one thing that he teaches is pre-opening. So I took that to another level for myself. So what I first wanted to teach you was actually how I work a venue. And if you guys want to follow it, cool, go for it. It gets me really great results. I don't really have to worry about blowouts. What it does for me is it builds my social proof like radically. I end up becoming like an amazing fucking person in this venue. I make friends with guys. And if you guys have problems with fucking guys being dicks, it's a great way to get around that. because I diffuse them. I end up getting like stupid shit happening. Like guys are like, hey, do you want to meet my friend? And I'm like, sure, she's cute. Okay, cool. And I'll end up doing that. I have ridiculously stupid shit happen like a couple weeks ago. I had a chick that I spent 15 minutes FaceTime with before I was having sex with her. And I know it sounds like really fucked up and weird because it's not the norm. It wasn't like, hey, do you want to have sex? But it was the way that I worked the venue. What ended up happening was I was on boot camp, I was teaching a guy, and he just wanted me to demo. I was like, okay, cool. So I ended up just showing him how I work the venue, how I do this, and I saw a 2-sit come in. I'm like, the chick's cute. I'm like, okay. My student, I'm like, I'm gonna go open that. Just watch their reaction. So I walked up, came up to both of them, and I just went riffing off of the one girl. I'm like, about her fashion and shit. And then I looked at the other girl. I'm like, I don't know, the hair kind of And then I started laughing, and then that got them laughing as well. So I started vibing, bullshitting with them for about 30 seconds to a minute. And normally what I would have done is I just would have stayed. But instead, I was like, all right, you know what? You guys are probably off to go do something, like do shots. And that's totally cool because my buddy's over there, and I'm going back to him. And I started walking away. Immediately I hear, we're going to be on the dance floor. Come talk to us later. And so I was like, all right, cool. I'm golden. So then I started swirling around the club, doing what I was doing. And here, lo and behold, I run across that girl again. And this time, her friend is being gamed by some guy that's not talking to her. And I'm like, okay, that kind of sucks. And since I was there to go get a drink anyways, I'm just like, hey, that actually kind of sucks that this guy is paying a lot of attention to your friend, nothing to you, and you're fucking bored. I'm like, I feel bad for you. And she's like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. And then I started, talking to her, and she seemed really interested in me. I put my hands out. She put her hands in mine, and I immediately just backpedaled her into the corner. So now I had my isolation, and I didn't have to worry about the friend because that's going on over there. So I'm talking to her. I start sexually priming her, and turn off your phone. And I start sexually priming her, and I find out that she's down for making out. So next thing you know, we're making out, everything's going great with that, and I stop, and I look at her, I'm like, because I could have continued with the set, but I'm like, no, I'm gonna cut this again. And I'm like, my buddy is over there, I gotta go back to him, I don't wanna leave him alone, but here's the thing. Every time that you see me, what you're gonna do, no matter who I'm talking to, no matter what I'm doing, you're gonna come over, you're gonna pull my shoulder, turn me around, and start making out with me. And she's like, okay, I can do that. And so I end up going back to him, I'm swirling around, doing my thing, and I get toward the front door again. Now this time she's on her way out to go smoke a cigarette. I tap her on the shoulder, she turns around, all of a sudden, sucking my face. I'm like, cool, awesome. And then we just part like ships in the night, and I go find my student, and I help him with his boot camp. I'm helping him with his little sets that he got going on there. I'm juggling a bunch of shit. Later on, swirling around, see her again, and tell me, come here for a second. See what I can do with my finger. Anyways.
That same motion, bro.
Oh yeah, all right, like this. Okay. She was right here, and I just walked past. I'm like, hey! And I just grabbed her and pulled her. You can go now. And I grabbed her and I pulled her right out of the venue, right to where the smoking area was, and started walking toward where the door girl is. And so I'm sitting there, I'm just testing this. I'm like, okay, how fast can I do this? What can I do? All this shit. So I get her to the street, and she's like, where are we going? And I'm like, well, you and I really haven't actually had a good chance to talk. So I figured we would go for a walk and get to know each other because it's loud in there. 5-minute walk to my van, opened it up, said, get in. She got in, we started making out, told her a story. About 2 minutes later, I was having sex with her. And that was literally, the FaceTime was about 15 minutes just broken up. And the thing that made that happen was the fact that the way that I work the venue is just being super fucking social with everyone. I talk to everyone because I don't know, first of all, who knows who? Okay, you two right there. You could be by yourselves. I don't know you, right? But in about half an hour, you may have 5 hot chicks coming. Now, if I wait for you to have those 5 hot chicks there, and then I open you and talk to you, then it's like, okay, I want the girls, right? I'm all about diffusing the whole fucking scenario with being cock-blocked, all that shit, because I'm done with that. So you guys, and this is like how it would work the venues, I would come start talking to you, I would bounce off, go about, talking to more people, going about, and then when it comes down to like, you know, you have your friends there, I'm already accepted because of you guys, because I've already made friends with you. Okay, great example, how I want to show you how I actually work with the bar, with compliment openers and everything. I need you. Yes, we talked. I need you, Tommy, you. Where's Fuji? He's not here?
Doing video with.
Whatever. Who's got good fashion here right now? Like a guy.
I'm sexy.
You're not sexy. I'm sorry. It's all good. 1, 2. Okay, fuck it. 3, 4, 5. You. Come on. I want you guys to get on stage with me, and I'm moving this table. And this thing is not the sweetest thing in the world. Whatever. All right, cool. Get on stage, and one person here. Come forward, because I'm gonna need to walk. There, one here. Honey, can you get up here too? All right, find a space, I guess maybe right here. Like I said, I look at it as chess. So then, say, you know how like you can have an island in the middle of a bar, and you could be like going around it, and there's all these people. I'm considering each person a group right now. So this is group 1, group 2, group 3, group 4, group 5. All right. So then, when I get in there, my goal in my head is to meet people and make friends with everyone. Like, I want to be that social connector. I want to be that guy that everyone's just like, I want to meet him. So what ends up happening is I would come up, and the way I approach is 2 different ways. If they're in front of me, it's a little different. If they're behind me, and I'll show you that one in a second. And this one, he doesn't even know I'm coming. I end up walking past, and I'm like, hey dude, you know what, I really like your style, bro. I saw fucking this necklace as I was walking by. I think that is awesome, dude. Where the fuck did you get this?
Actually, my ex-girlfriend gave it to me. It's a
Dude,
long story.
that is fucking tight. I
Yeah,
love
it's
it,
good.
bro. That
Yeah.
is awesome.
You have
I'm
pretty cool
Jared.
style
Thank
yourself.
you, bro. Dude, like, honestly, I appreciate people that actually have really good fucking styles, because honestly, you see what I'm wearing. I like fucking fashion, and dude,
see that, yeah.
it's pretty money.
Yeah.
I'm Jared. I gotta go
Cheers.
run. I gotta go talk to some people.
Yeah, man,
I'll
have a
talk.
good night.
I'll talk to you later, bro. Dude, love the fucking hair, bro. Honestly, you are huge in the fashion. Like, where'd you get your hair done? Like, because I can see that you ended up having it colored and all that stuff. Like,
just,
who's your guy? Did you do it yourself?
Yeah, I did it myself, yeah.
Dude, that is awesome. I love that shit. Honestly, wait. Are you a hairstylist?
No, but I get that a lot.
Really? Okay, cool. Because like, I really love it, and honestly, I would say, how much you charge? I'd probably want to get hooked the fuck up. Now, what I've done here is I've opened the first set. I've skipped this one. I'm opening him, and now I'd end up skipping him. And now I'm going around the bar. This set may have seen me talk to him, okay? And then sees me, they may be following to see what I'm doing, sees me now talk to this person. I've just walked past you. You probably didn't see me talk to them, but you see me talk to this person, and this person sees me talk to this. So then I come back around, and this is a little more advanced with if I actually really want to fucking just own the fucking place. Then I come back around, you're an open set, you're warm, I come to you, and I'm like, what's up, bro? You having a good night, dude?
Yeah, you?
Dude, fuck yeah, dude. Did you catch the game last night?
Yeah, I did.
Dude, fucking who were you rooting for, bro?
I don't know what game are you
Oh,
talking
dude,
about.
yeah. Well, this is just bullshit. You know what I'm saying? It's just bullshit. I'd be like, dude, rock on, dude. You seem like a cool guy, bro. I gotta go run with my friends, dude, but you have a fucking good night. And then I come over to this guy and say, I don't know, whatever I want to talk to this guy about. Be like, dude, you're from South Carolina? Dude, that's fucking awesome. My ex-girlfriend was from there. Dude, I love that place. And then I would start talking about some vacation spot. I'd be like, dude, have you ever been there? Be like, awesome, dude, you have a good night, bro. And then I'd fucking bounce off. Now what I've done there, and since now I've talked to you, I've talked to you, I've talked to you, I've talked to you. Now, everyone is wondering what the fuck is going on with me, and especially this set right here. This set wants me to open them. And everyone that's paying attention sees that I am pretty much owning the venue. And they may not know that I came here alone. And by the way, I usually go out to the bars by myself. I don't have a wing. I go work this all by myself. If you're not doing that, why the fuck not? If you've got yourself and you've got a wing that know how to do this properly, it's fucking super stellar. It's not even funny. So in this scenario, I've got them, and this is something that I can do within 10 to 15 minutes. I mean, like everyone's talking about, oh, I'm worried about what to say, blah, blah, blah. Dude, I just riff off of the first thing that I see, and I just go from there. Fashion, whatever. Within 15 minutes, I've probably opened 30 sets at least. And I've just gone through here. And now what I can do from here is I can reopen. I can end up hitting you up. And I want to do something real quick. You need to come with me for a second. Okay? Now, say this guy, right? Say this is the hottest set in the place. And I've been doing this. What I want to do is if I want this girl and I don't know what the deal is with them, what I would end up doing is, since I've already talked to these people, I've skipped them. Now when I come around, of course they may want me to talk to them. If this guy has no fashion style, but she does, I would come walking by and be like, oh my God, I love what you're wearing. Honestly, this totally contours to your body just like you had it custom made. Doesn't she have really good fashion sense?
Hell yeah.
I think that is fucking awesome. What's up, man? You having a good night?
Yeah.
Dude, fuck yeah, bro. Dude, blah, 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 and off. Now what I've done there is, not only have I opened her, but I've shown him that I'm disinterested. And since I've been talking to everyone else, then I can end up coming back, finding out what's up with them. Since it's a two-set, I'm not going to tell you about how to steal fucking girls from their boyfriends, but if it's a two-set and it's I find out that they're not together, since I've opened all these other fucking people, now they're open sets that I have out there, girls, guys, whatever. Now, if this is the set that I want, and say these two are a set right here, come together, you guys are two girls, right? And you guys are loving me. What would end up happening is, in the scenario of coming back to talk to you guys, now I'm just blah, 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 blah with you guys, but honestly, I could tell about you just from her because, she's a beautiful girl, but beauty is common, but I can tell that she's, you, my friend, have got to be a really cool guy because otherwise you would not be hanging out with her.
Thank you.
Okay? Honestly, for me, the common thing that I get with some of my friends is that why can't they meet cool guys in venue? Are you two together or what's?
Actually, we just met.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude. Okay, because I've got a couple friends over there, and like I said, they always are complaining about why can't we meet cool guys. Dude, fucking come with me, come on. And then now I've just become the leader of this group. And now what I do is I bring them over to this group, and I introduce everyone together. And now what ends up happening is, since I've already owned this set, now I own this set, now I'm the leader of this set, what I can do is I can work this, and if I want to take this even further, what ends up happening is I make sure that there's a great conversation going on with everyone. And this is where a wing actually comes into great play, because if he's there, I can leave him here. And then I make sure everyone's going along, and what I will do is I will go find another girl, another guy, another group that I want to grab, and I'll come around. I'm going to need you to move this way so I don't fucking trip. And I would come around, and I would kind of do the exact same thing to this group, and then I would bring you in to this, and now I'm the king of these three sets. And then, I'm going to make sure everything's going good. And now if you're the girl that I want, since everyone's now talking and having a good time, now I can end up doing isolation with this girl kind of here. In here I could be and yes, my handcuffs, I do use these as a prop to fucking handcuff girls and pull them for drinks. But then I could be talking to me you know what, I'm actually gonna go grab a drink. You wanna come with me? Maybe I'll introduce you to some other friends. You seem like a cool person. And then bam, I take her, and I can just leave all these people together, and depending on the scenario, depending on how everything goes, I may get the makeout, get the number, maybe an SNL, maybe start working logistics for day 2, all that shit, while all these people are entertained. And I will do this throughout the venue, and what it does is, like I said, it creates that social environment. You're that social connector, and it's pretty powerful. Thank you guys. I'm good for right now for demos. Give these guys a round of applause. Let's see here. Okay, I want to talk to you guys about a little bit about inner game. And the reason why I want to do that is because if you don't have that under control, you are royally fucked. And the biggest reason I say that is if you have no confidence, no matter what I teach you, no matter what anyone teaches you, you are going to fuck it up. And when it comes down to actually building that, I mean, you have to realize a lot of things out there. You are you, okay? You're not me, you're not Tommy, you're not Anthony, you are you. So no matter what, whatever someone thinks about you really should not affect you as much as what you think of yourself. When it comes down to that, like I have a bunch of things, like even like, you know, for me, I don't consider myself a guru or anything. I have my bad days. I have it where I'm just like, fuck. I'm like, I am not loving this. But usually I will end up in state at some point. For me, I have it in my phone, and I'm going to give this to you guys. If I get myself in a negative pattern, what I learned to use is a little bit of NLP to change, you know, my mindset and just keep it going, like this constant positive loop. For me, I look at it, I control my inner world. And what I mean by that is my thoughts. Like, you know, how I feel about myself. No one really dictates how I feel. You know, like, if someone doesn't like me, the emotions that I feel are because externally, I'm taking their opinion and bringing it into me, and it's hurting my self-esteem. There's no need for that. At the end of your life, truly, you're going to end up going out alone. I mean, no one else is going to be like, oh, hold on, I'm dying, so you're coming with me. No, it doesn't work that way. For me, I try to keep my mental self-talk up here very positive, because the thing is, like, even with this speech, if I wanted to, I could get into a negative pattern, like, oh my God, what are these people thinking of me? Am I saying the right shit? Next thing you know, I could start stuttering or like freeze up or whatever. And that's another thing when it comes down to when you're in like field. You're sitting there in your head and you're like, okay, fuck, am I saying the right thing? It's gonna start coming out in your body language. Like you might not notice it, but you might start having like nervous twitches. And I noticed this with like some people I've seen. They started off fine. They're like very relaxed and they're talking to a person, and then next thing you know, it's the gradual this to like they're defending themselves, and they don't even know that they're doing it. I've seen that, and you know, and you can see it in their whole body language. Like they start slumping, everything. That's why I say you have to keep your mental self-talk positive, because you know, like I said, if you're negative, all it's going to do is just fuck you in the long run. Paying attention to the present. I go out there and I riff. I don't really worry about what's going to happen as much throughout the night. I know that what I do works. And this is for me. I know that what I do works, and I'm going to have results. And no matter what, not every night I get laid. Who cares? I'm going to go out. I'm going to go have fun, and I don't know what adventure my night's going to bring. Also, I do not sit there and beat myself up about a fucking set. Great example. I could beat myself up about last night. I had a set that I was out with Tommy, Adonis was over at Bliss, and I'm just doing my little social thing. I ended up talking to this Mexican girl, ended up making out with her. Tommy was my wing with the other girl. I start bouncing around, start talking to this guy about his fucking hat and shit. He's fucking loving me. I come back around. I'm on the dance floor. I start talking to this Brazilian girl, and she's like, into me too, but I'm kind of getting the vibe that her boyfriend is the one behind her, so I'm like, kind of whatever. So then I start coming over, I fucking high-five Tommy, I turn around, I end up fucking talking to this black guy that's got like an Ed Hardy shirt. I'm talking to him about how, like, you know, the colors, I wouldn't be able to pull it off, but he can. I think it's awesome. I come around and I see this banging chick in a white dress that's just like it's glued on her. And I'm like, I like that. And so, so immediately I just did the same thing. I came around, I did the tap, and then I tapped on this side, and immediately I, you know, went into about the fashion and about how I liked that. And she was like, thank you. And like, I noticed she was like very receptive. She didn't say, oh, like, thanks, and like back. No, it was a genuine compliment. So she was facing the bar, I was behind her, she just went like this. So now I'm talking to her, I've got a wall behind me, and I talked to her for about 2 or 3 more seconds, and I reach out, grab her arms, and I come back and lean into the bar, or lean into the wall. And she's talking to me, and within about 30 seconds to a minute, she brings up my lip rings. She's like, did those hurt? And she touches my mouth and my rings, and I'm like, she might want to make out. Hold on, let's see what's up with this. So I didn't really like sexually prime it right there. What I did was I tested her subcommunications and her body language. I'm like, well, the thing with my lip rings is I wanted to, I've thought about them for a while. And when I did this, I started leaning forward and came to the side around like her face. My face was touching hers, our mouth was about that far apart, and I was whispering in her ear. Now, it gave me still that distance where I could see her eyes. She closed her eyes in preparation to make out. And I was like, done. So I started going to that, and I'm like, well, but now it's become kind of a given thing for people. And I kissed her, and we started making out. And then I pulled back, and I said, see what I mean? Like, it's for your pleasure, not as much mine. And so we're talking, and a couple minutes go by, and she blatantly brings this up, that I'm the type of guy that she wouldn't date, but would possibly have a one-night stand with. And I was like, okay, you're down to fuck. I'm like, that's what this means to me in my head. So immediately I'm like, hey, you know, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, come here. And I bring her out, and I ended up walking past Adonis, walked her out of the place, and she's like, where are we going? What fucked it up was this girl was just about a quick fuck. To me, I should have bathroom pulled her, or I should have found some really quick place, because this was at Bliss. I had to go all the way to Ibar, and that's a long fucking walk, and she had heels. Next thing you know, it's the same thing with buying temperature with girls. If they start getting annoyed or irritated or whatever, it kind of can fuck the whole thing up. So we went for this long little walk, and at some point she started complaining about how her shoes were hurting her. I'm like, okay, that's not good. And it started like spiraling a little bit. I got her about 5 feet from my car, and she pre-LMR'd me by turning back the other way and pulling me. And she knew what was up, and she was just like done. I was like, fuck. So I blew it right there. But it's still like, I mean, for me, like I said, I want to be present in the moment, so like I can pay attention to what's going on. I mean, because if you're not, if you're in your head, boom, you'll miss things like that. I mean, I've had it before where, thinking back, that I've kept gaming, I've kept talking when I've gotten some blatant shit, and I just didn't hear it because I was more concerned about what I was gonna say versus what she's given to me. I mean, that's where it's truly like actually having a connection, actually having an interaction with a person instead of just the whole, I have this whole script. I mean, it's awesome, it's great. That's how I fucking started with this, but now it's pretty much a big freestyle for me. So like, you have to get yourself eventually out of your head. You have to get it where it's focusing on the person. Because when you do, magic starts happening. When you start working fucking the venue like that, it becomes amazing. And you don't have to actually have it where your environment hurts you. And that's what a lot of PUAs do, because people see exactly what you're doing. So then you get blown out here, you get blown out here, people see that, and now it's like, okay, this guy is just hitting on people. You know what I mean? That's why I go the social route. Back to inner game. For me, and I don't know about you guys, but I'm pretty sure this is true. If you really wanted to, you could make yourself feel good. And also you can make yourself feel really sad. If you're gonna sit there and you wanna think about, okay, my dog just died, my mom has cancer, all this shit, eventually you're gonna start feeling these emotions. That's why the same thing is choose the way that you feel. When I go out there, I feel like a fucking rock star when I hit the fucking club. I know everyone's gonna love me. I go in there with the mentality of, I want everyone to fucking meet me. I pretend pretty much like, this is my fucking party. This club is mine, I own this. Like the nightclub mentality. What it does, say if you were the owner, any one of you, if you owned a club and you were walking through it, would you be hesitant about talking to anyone? Would you be sitting there worried about what people think of you? No. That's why I keep that as a mentality for me, where I pretend like pretty much this is my place. I'm gonna own it. We talk about moderating my mind, same thing with the whole paying attention to your inner world. I truly believe that I am all that I need. Really, it comes from an inner belief, inner strength, and that is something that if you don't have it, you really do have to work out, because that's where your true confidence comes from. And without true confidence, yes, you can fake it, but then you will end up hitting those flinch points at some time. I'm sure some of you had relationships where it was going great, even like dating, going great, and then you crumbled. And I've had those. And I don't want to go into detail about that, but I've had it where I've been tested so fucking hard where it's just like, oh my fucking God, why am I in this? Another thing to think about is, in your life, for me, I truly believe that I'm the best thing that's ever happened to me in my life. With that mentality, I really believe I have this armor in a way. I believe that, okay, if you don't like me, that's not my problem. It's a matter of me liking myself. Another thing is, when you're starting to think about, okay, does this person like me? Did I say the wrong thing? You gotta realize, they're thinking the same shit. They're thinking exactly the same fucking thing. What goes on in your head is going on in their head. The girl is sitting there like, am I pretty enough for this guy? I hope he likes the stories I'm telling him. Oh shit, he didn't laugh at that. That was supposed to be a joke. Same shit. Humans are humans. For me, because I came from a really fucked up past. Not I was raped or any of that shit, but it was I didn't have social skills. I had to learn all this stuff because of my family, the way that they interacted. Well, everything that I was subdued to from childhood all the way through, high school and past that was conditioning and wiring because of other people. I didn't choose that. So what I decided to do was pretty much rewire myself. I look at it if you're not happy with who the fuck you are, change it. Seriously, figure out who you want to be. Think about it. What are the steps that I need to do to become this person? And fucking do it. A lot of people go through their lives regretting things, sitting there just like, man, I wish I had done this, wish I had done that, not happy with themselves. You see them every day. You see them driving down the street, you see them walking, and I will talk to people everywhere, because it doesn't bother me. But you see them, they're just kind of moping around. And it's just the whole, no one talks to each other, they're just kind of like, okay, I've got to go to the grocery store after work, I got to pick up this, fuck, I got to go home to my wife. they are living a very miserable existence. And like, to me personally, I believe that that's pretty much death. I mean, like, I want to live. I want to have experience. I want to enjoy my life. You know, there is no fucking half-ass in it. I mean, I do not want to wake up, and I said this last time in my last speech, I do not want to wake up at 65 like, I wish I'd done this, I wish I'd done that, I wish I'd done that, because you cannot turn back the fucking clock. You know, and when it really comes down to it, every fucking moment in your life is really a chance to turn it all around. If you really, really believed in yourself and you really, really wanted to. Not a person in here could be as good as anyone that's spoken, any fucking guru out there. I mean, it really comes down to you. Really comes down to your own dedication, what you want to do, what you want to become. You know, and like DJ Fuji said, the rewards are amazing. I mean, I go out there and I end up making friends. And this is coming from a person that, in high school, I didn't talk to a fucking person unless it had something to do with the homework or the lesson, any of that shit, or if it was related to sports that I was in. I had no friends in my school, okay? I've met some people from my high school out and about in the bars and shit in Chicago, and they're just like, what the fuck happened to you? Because I would just go around swirling, do my thing, and I have girls buying me shots, I have guys buying me shots. I introduce like these people I went to school with to like other people and shit, and they're just like in like all like double taking this shit. Another thing is the comparisons. You shouldn't compare yourself to anyone. Okay, you have different skills than he does. He has different skills than he does. He has different skills than he does. What it really should come down to is you should compare yourself to you. Because you should really be your own golden standard. I mean, like, because if you're comparing yourself to someone else, what that ends up leading into is that whole, man, I wish I was like this. And it's just sabotage. I used to do this. I did this fucking, like, it did help me at one point, but this was in sales. I was like, okay, I need to do this, I need to do that. And it would cause me to go into like frantic mode for my work. And it would make me have to fucking work harder. But also the strain, the stress that it put on me was not healthy and not fun. You know, like I enjoyed my job at the same time I hated it at some points. Which also then, sitting there, like I'd come back and I'd be like, fuck, I didn't sell as much as this person. I still did an awesome job, but I'm sitting there just like, fuck. And I'm mad at myself. Mad at my fucking self for that. So ultimately, you have wings, whatever. So what if your fucking wing is better than you? You shouldn't let that fucking affect you. You should actually take that into fucking your life completely. With anything you do. With anything you do. It's a matter of just putting your 100% effort into everything that you do in your life. For me, I'm actually really happy with who I am and where I am in my life. There are a lot of things that I want to change, that I'm going to change, but at the moment, I don't let them hold me back. I don't sit there and dwell on them. I just look at it, okay, consciously, this is what I want to do. My subconscious knows that this is what I want to do. I know that eventually it's going to happen. All I have to do is just take the steps to go through it, and everything will be fine. Everything will be taken care of. What do I got here? On that note, the reason why I wanted to go into inner game is because I know you already heard about SNLs from Adonis. I wanted to give my own way that I go about it. And that's why I started building up from going from the way that I work venue, about inner game, because all of that, everything that I talk about is actually a precursor to this, pretty much. Because first off, if you don't have the inner game, you're probably not going to get laid. With me, when I do talk to people, it pretty much comes down to you have to realize what are your logistics with this girl. Every girl pretty much can be pulled, even if they have a boyfriend or they're married, whatever. But that's going to come down to your own internal belief system, whether or not it's wrong or right to hook up with a woman that is married, has a boyfriend, whatever. It's really, that's on you. You're going to choose to do whatever you want to do. Every girl ends up kind of getting slotted into, one of a couple categories. I mean, you can only get laid a couple of ways. One of them is a bathroom pole. One of them is a carpool, which I love, because I'd rather not go to the bathroom. Another one is SNL at the house or her house, and surprisingly, another one is on the dance floor, which I found shocking about a year ago. Every girl, you got to think about what are her logistics. You have the girl that drove. A lot of people would leave that set and leave it alone. Well, that girl, if you think about it, she falls into pretty much every category in a way. You can pull her to the car. You can pull her to a bathroom. You can take her to an alley, very romantic place, I know. You can take her home, but then you have to deal with the whole thing of she has to drop her friends off, and depending on what city you live in, clubs like in Chicago close at 4. So if they're out till 4 o'clock, good chance, if she has to drive her friends home, you're not getting that SNL at her house or your house, because she's probably not going to give her keys to someone, and by the time she gets home, it'll probably be like 6 in the morning. So that's probably not happening. She's going to want to go to sleep. The friends, they fall into everything. They hit the bathroom, they hit the car. You can SNL them, but what you got to do is you have to work the friends and make the friends love you. When that all comes down, then when it's time, and the best set is actually the girl that's with a couple gay guys. That set right there, boom, make friends with the gay guys. And if any of you guys are actually intimidated by gay guys, you need to realize that you're going to have to get yourself socially conditioned to deal with these people. I've done fucked up things with students, like I'm an asshole if someone's out with me and I'm like, dude, you're not listening to me. I will actually take a student, like if I'm telling them open, and he's not listening to me, I'll be like, dude, every time you don't open when I tell you to open, I'm going to kick you in the ass. And doesn't open, boom. Doesn't open, boom. If that doesn't work, what ends up happening is I will walk next to him, and I'll be like, open. This set coming up, open. Okay, you didn't do that? Open. I'll give the guy a couple of times. If he doesn't, it ends up in open, and when we get to that, body check, and I throw him into the set pretty much. I just launch him into it. I don't care. And now he looks like a retard. And it's for his own good, because now he realizes, oh fuck, I need to talk now, because otherwise this is going to start happening. It doesn't get past 2 of these. It doesn't, because seriously, even if I do a light body check, it turns into a stumble, like, oh fuck, bam, and you just like hit this person. So that will get people going. Another thing, if you, like I said, with the whole gay people thing, I've taken students to gay bars and gone there and talked to everyone there, saying that my student just came out the closet today and is looking for some fun. That right there, if you are afraid of like gay people, whatever, dude, they are gonna be like, oh my God, I think that's awesome. Congratulations to your new life. All this, it gets funny. I haven't posted, I think I have video, but I haven't posted the like pictures or anything. I'm being nice about that. I won't do that. But I have one student where I forced his ass to get up there on the podium with one of those little male dancers, and it just got ridiculously fucking hilarious to the point where I'm like, I want you to see the mentality of what a woman goes through in the fucking bars. So I kept working it, and now I started pretending like I'm the girl that's egging him on to get laid. Like, or, you know, in the reversal side. This fucking guy was all about him. And like, I'm sitting there like a girl would be like, you know, like compliment and be like, oh my God, this guy's awesome, blah, 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 like the fat girl or whatever. And so I'm sitting there like doing that about this guy. I'm like, oh my God, you should go home with this guy, blah, 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 blah. This guy's such a nice guy. You should give him your number. Did the whole fucking thing to him. I mean, it was ridiculous. And like, he's like kind of like, help. And I was just like, all right, you need to fucking realize, like, you know, psychology of women. And so then I, you know, saved him and pulled him out of that. But like, I will do fucked up things. It just really comes down to how, you know, comfortable someone feels in their own skin. I'll send a student into like Victoria's Secret during like day game and be like, listen, I need some help. I have to go to this party, and it's the reverse. It's guys dress as girls, girls dress as guys. So I need the sexiest lingerie that you got. And I make him go shopping pretty much with this girl, but that's an opener. And they usually are just like shocked and fucking just, it's ridiculous. I will make people say the most fucking stupid shit. You know, it's just to realize that you can say pretty much anything and get away with it as long as you do it the right way. When I had major approach anxiety, one drill that I had, you know, that I ended up doing, and that's where part of my sober game came up, was I hope you can still see me, I would end up walking by and I'd be like, oh dude, I love the shirt, it's great, I love it. And then I'd be looking and you'd be like, Jägermeister, I love Jägermeister, it's fucking awesome. And oh dude, is that a lion? I love it. Oh dude, like the tie? Cool, rock on, I love the tie. And like, it would literally be the first thing that came to mind. And I would sit there, and before I would go, I would, like, because my brain would be going fucking nuts, I would be sitting there focusing on my breathing. I would hold my breath and walk. And then when I got there, oh, you have blonde hair. And it's like the first thing that pops in my head. And now it's, think about it, the thing that really fucks you is that time in between. The time in between walking that 10 feet, the 20 feet, or whatever, and you're sitting there in your head. That was a drill that I had, that I did for myself for fucking a little bit, and it actually helped dramatically. I mean, it's the way that I would just be able to like not have to worry about numbing my brain with alcohol. You know, where like I would just focus on my breath. Same thing as like, you know, DJ Fuji talked about. You can't be thinking about locking in and what to say at the same time. Same deal with, you can't get nervous about this shit if you're sitting there, you know, focusing on your breath. You can't be worried about what this girl's thinking about you as you're coming up. You can't be thinking about, am I going to get blown out here? Same fucking thing. You know? Okay, this one's a fun one. Dance floor. That one, if you have really good game, and you have really good dance floor game, a girl that's wearing a skirt, you can actually fuck around the dance floor. And I found out about this, not because I did it, but I found out from a girl that I was banging. She told me we got into this whole fucking thing about, you know, where's some of the craziest places that you've had sex, blah, blah, blah. And we're going back and forth, and it's getting more intense, more intense. She's like, I've had sex on the dance floor. And I'm like, what? And she's like, I like to go out in skirts. All I gotta do is I gotta just kind of back up into the guy a little bit, reach behind, unzip the zipper, pull his cock out, pull my panties to the side, pop it in, and it looks like we're grinding. And I was just like, wow, you just fucking blew my mind on that one. That one takes balls. I haven't done it yet. I probably will at some point, but yeah. Windows of escalation. And this is part of the reason why I say pay attention to where you are in the moment. Because if you are sitting there in your head worried about what to say, this and that, da da da, what's going to end up happening is windows of escalation will come and you will miss them. Like if I was really concerned, like the one I was talking about with the girl that I pulled in like 5 minutes, but then I fucked it up later. If I was really concerned about myself, I wouldn't have noticed that she closed her eyes when she did. You see what I'm saying? If I was sitting there worried about what I was doing, I might not have like taken this as an IOI that she wanted to kiss me. Things like that. Also, another thing is if you don't start recognizing windows of escalation, what ends up happening is you find yourself in the let's just be friend zone after a while. For me, I escalate very quick. You can ask pretty much any PUA that goes out with me. If I'm going to be making out with a girl, it's usually within 5 minutes. I just do it. I will do it as quick as possible. If I can get the make out right away, I will do it on when I open her. It just really depends on like how I feel about it. You gotta end up becoming intuitive about this, and that's what this whole process is. When they talk about, you have to get like 1,000 approaches, 2,000 approaches, 3,000 approaches in. Think about the goal. Think about what you want to become, because ultimately, this becomes a part of you. This becomes autopilot that you just start noticing this shit. You're just like boom, 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 and that's why, like for me, I started teaching sexual priming last year because it really did enhance my game. It really did give me a way to realize when a woman was ready based on how she was. It also gave me the reality of knowing when women really weren't into me and I should just eject right now and maybe game around and maybe come back. Because there's no sense in just sticking around with some set until it just completely stales. And then now it's like, okay, I just wasted fucking 20 minutes in a way. Like I did some stupid or they didn't like me. I'm about efficiency, I'm about time. If I'm out, I don't want, if I'm really out there to get laid, I just don't want to sit there and be like, okay, 20 minutes have gone by, fuck, this one didn't go nowhere. 30 minutes went by, okay, fuck, this one didn't go nowhere. I don't feel like sitting in a club for 5 hours. I don't feel like sitting in there for 4 hours. I mean, like if I go, usually I'm in a bar for maybe an hour or two, and that's it. Just because I've supercharged and sped up my game. And everyone can do that. It's just a matter of actually knowing where shit is and when you can proceed. There is like Mystery says, it's 7 hour thing, whatever. It is what it is. Right now, my average is like an hour. If I have a girl on a date, or they're even like text or whatever, I mean, shit, I'll have it where I meet her for 5 minutes, get her number, and all I do is just work the text, boom, 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 meet up with her, and then just display my awesomeness, but at the same time, with the qualification, the way that I qualify is getting to know her deeper inner psyche, what she's about. What she, none of that, okay, can you cook? That's just filler bullshit that I do with like text. I'm more about getting to know her inner psyche and who this person is. Because with me, yes, I do like sex, but I also like to know about women too. Like, I do enjoy conversations with them. And that's why I ask things. Like, I've had it where, I'm not gonna give names, but I have a girl in Denver. That's, she's one of my friends, we've had sex, but she, before she met me, she gave up her dream of school. She completely gave up her dream of fucking, being an artist and getting into that field in graphic design. And I got to talking to her and I started finding this stuff out, and I'm like, why? She's like, well, I don't know, it doesn't, the pay, it could be hard, blah, blah, blah. Right now, because of me, like, I like to leave people truly better than like when I met them. Right now, she's back in school and she's following her dream. I mean, it's powerful. I mean, when you're sitting there with a woman, this comes down to emotional connection with a woman, and this is another key to my game, is I truly, do find out what makes her tick, what her dreams and passions are. like what she wants to do with her life. Like I'm sitting there as a positive person in her life. I want to encourage her. I got that girl that I fucked in like 15 minutes. She's an artist. And like she just had an art show. And she was like telling me about it. I'm like, that's fucking awesome. I'm fucking happy for you. It was her first art show. And I'm just like being that support system. I mean, because everyone wants that, you know, that positive encouragement. You know, because everyone like truly should actually follow their dreams. You know, whatever it is. They shouldn't give it up for anything. You know, they shouldn't give it up for, oh, I want money. No, they should do it just because they want to do it. It's part of the reason that I actually, you know, drove down from Chicago. It was because I actually wanted to help other people. You know, because I feel blessed with who I am as a person. And if I hadn't actually had everything happen the way it did with my life, I wouldn't have been in this. And I wouldn't be in a situation where I can actually share my knowledge and help people and guide them on a path if they choose to follow it. When I'm trying to get laid and you have that girl that is really, really invested, like where she's like super invested, like a great example would be I'm not really, I may be talking a little bit, but then she just keeps asking question after question after question and talking and giggling and whatever. I let her work for it. I will drop my game down. And I would let her work for it because I want her to feel like it's a reward that she's getting me. You know, like I don't want it to be like, oh yeah, blah, 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 and like try to go for it. I step it back, especially when a girl's like, "Can I get your number?" I'm like, I don't know. And then I'll keep going. What this is? She's like, "Wait, what the fuck?" You know, because any girl, like, if a cute girl just came to you and be like, "Hey, I think you're cute. I want your number," you'd give it to her, right? Oh, but still, you see what I'm saying? Right away, be like, oh, yeah, well, let's exchange. Like, I make her work for it. In that scenario, I make her find out more about me. I just kind of flip the frame. I kind of go the girl route on her. And I make her invest a lot more, and I make her win me over in that scenario. My game with fucking the SNLs, depending on what I want to do with it, is dependent on how I'm going to interact with the girl. I will sit there and I will go 99-1, like if I really need to. I will just sit there and blah, 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 blah. And I will relate to her stories about myself that are true to me. I don't sit there and I don't use people's material. I don't sit there and talk about, okay, I smashed this BMW with a fucking baseball bat because my ex-girlfriend was a stripper, blah, 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 blah. None of that bullshit. Like for me, I want the interaction. If I'm talking to someone about this, I want it to be genuine to me. Be genuine, like for us, because that is, a true thing. I don't want it to be false. I don't want it, like I've heard of some shit where, I don't know who told me about this. Some girl was dating this guy, and he used the exact lines out of the Pickup Artist show. And then she watched that show and realized, I think that was you, and realized, was that you that told me this?
I told you this story, that's the front story.
Yeah. And we're like, it fucked up the relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that sucks. I mean, like, that's not, the beginning, that's not a genuine thing. I mean, I look at it for me personally. Yes, learn it. Have fucking sex. Have the beginning, but actually make it so it's real to you. See here. Another thing is, don't be afraid of losing the girl. That's also part of the reason why I work the venue the way that I do, is because I want them to see that I'm not actually really invested in them. I really don't care. I'm just out there to do my thing. If you're not really too interested in like maybe following up with a girl, hardcore attraction game does work for fucking SNLs. Like really hardcore, powerful shit, knowing just a little bit about like emotional connection. So she like views you as a person, and you could like frame certain things about her, where like like based on like her culture. Say a chick's from like from Mexico or whatever, and she was born there. You could be like, wow, well that means like You know what I really like about you is, like, you said that you're from Mexico. You must be really close with your family. And I think that is awesome, because people that are from Mexico are more about who you are and not what you do for a living, and I think that's amazing. That's so different than how, like, America is. Here, everyone is all about your job. You do. And I commend that. I commend the closeness you have to your family, the closeness you have with your friends and your people. Like, I think that is awesome. Right there, that's a huge, huge, huge qualification that I've just said about, like, her as a person, you know, as a cold read, basically, because of the culture. With that, I mean, I don't really have to do too much. Now, she knows why I like her. You know, like, you know, DJ Fuji was talking about, that is, you know, you have to let her know why you like her. There's a good reason. And then I could just sit there and go blah, 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 all the way to trying to pull her. Another thing is hesitation and impulse. A lot of guys are very, very, like, weary and very hesitant when it comes to Kino, when it comes to escalation, when it comes to everything. Tommy, I want you to come up here again. Come on, buddy boy. You don't need your shoes, it's fine. Like, I make people very, very comfortable with my presence when I, like, open the sets. Because, like, I could have a group of people, and when I open them, and I could be talking to him for a second, and immediately I will, come on, dude, you gotta fucking work with me here. And I'll be like, yeah, da-da-da, and I you know, I'm touching him, I'm showing that I'm a touchy, friendly guy, and as I'm doing this, I'm moving around as well. So instead of the traditional, like that, since I move around, I can end up entering people's spaces, and just by doing this, it ends up creating this whole comfortability of me between everyone, because I can do this around everyone, and if I want to, then I could come to the side right here, and say this is my target, whatever, then, like, no one sees that I'm doing this. But she could already be, like, you know, into me and everything, and it's just like, it's kind of like ninjutsu a little bit, I think, in my head, where it's just, you know, making people very, very comfortable with it being fluid, and this being the person that you are.
It's more natural for people to move around anyways when I talk, rather than just be, like, standing still and having it so formal.
Yeah, because then when it's like right here, it ends up being kind of a little stiff and robotic, and it becomes very clunky when you actually try to change things up. Okay, thank you, my friend. Okay, for you that I was talking about, like, you know, with confidence, it really does come down to your experiences. I mean, some of the reason why I get away with some of the shit that I do is because of the things that I've done in the past. I mean, it's all a learning curve, it's all a buildup. That's why I will pull a girl into the bathroom. I've done evil things, like the boyfriend really pissed me off, and I had a scenario where I was talking to a girl, I didn't even know that it was her boyfriend. Okay, and I don't advise doing this at all. But I didn't know it was his girlfriend. And I had already made out with her. I had met him earlier in the night. I didn't know that he was part of the set. So I'm outside and I saw her, and I was like, hey, and she's like, hey! And, like, you know, she just stopped talking to her boyfriend. Now, I thought this was just some guy gaming her, right? So I just kind of ignored him. And now I'm, like, talking just to the girl. And this guy kind of steps away. I'm talking to her. And this is where he really pissed me off, and it made me be very vindictive about it. Earlier, we had been talking about my lip rings, and yes, it hurt when I got it done. So he just mentions out of nowhere, he's like, hey, bro, remember those two things we talked about? How would you like to lose those? In my head, that was a direct threat of him wanting to rip my fucking, like, literally tear this shit out. So, like, you've seen fucking Punisher, where they fucking, I'm like, okay, that's not cool, because, he said that's his girlfriend. I was like, you just fucked with the wrong person. I mean, in my head, I was like, what do we had, 15? Okay, cool. So in my head, I'm just like, yeah, I'm going to fuck your girl. I'm gonna do something with your girl. It ended up being where I'm swirling around, I'm doing my thing. Upstairs, she's dancing on one of the fucking bars. I'm making out with her. She's got her friend there. Her boyfriend ends up coming up, right? And he's chilling over on the side, and he's watching this fucking show go on where she's just making out with me and having fun with me. Right before the place closed, I'm talking to her. What was that? I'm talking to her, and she ends up saying something about, oh, where's the bathroom? I'm like, oh, it's over here, I'll show you. And I bring her to the bathroom, I open the door, let her in, I go in, I close it, and I lock it. And she's sitting there peeing, and I'm watching, and I'm just chilling. And she gets done. I start making out with her, put her hand on my cock, pull it out, and have her give me head. And then all of a sudden there's a knock on the door. That's one of her friends. I had her friend's purse so it wouldn't get stolen. Let that girl in. So now we're hanging out there, and she's like asking what's going on with this. End of that, bar closes, we walk out. Guess who walks out of the men's bathroom? Her boyfriend, and he sees that I just walked out of the women's bathroom with both of them. So he knows something fucking happened. As they went past him, he looked back at me, and he's just like, I was like, that's what you get, dude. And that's not a nice thing to do. I've done bad shit. I don't advise doing it because honestly, I don't regret doing it, but the same thing, I could have gone outside and I could have ended up getting stabbed or some bullshit because you hear about all types of crazy, stupid stories. You see what I'm saying? I guess I've got, how much time do I have right now?
A little bit less than 15 minutes, like
Oh,
12, 15.
Okay, I'm going to have to probably like go through a lot of shit real fast. No, I'm not going to tell that story because that's too long now. Oh, social circles. These are awesome. You meet a girl, and if you guys leave it on a standpoint of you guys are like friends, I'll give you a great example. I've had it where I banged one chick, and then she invited me to a party, and then because of being there, I banged the host, and then because of being with her, she was into me, she invited me a couple days later, and she was being a royal bitch to me, and I kind of liked her, and so vindictively, I fucked her friend in her bathroom. So, but like you can kind of go 6 degrees of separation through it, and as long as you go the right way about it, and you're very, you frame it as you're very casual with like sex, and it's a natural thing, and you know for you it's more about you're more willing to do that than get in relationships. That's how I can juggle that with friends. Then I stopped talking to them for about 4 months. Then I end up talking to them again. Turns out that it made them a better, closer group of friends. Because and it was weird, like the logic that they brought up was that they had a bonding experience because I had had sex with all of them. Really fucking weird. Let's see here. What I'm talking about really is actually, getting laid, but the beginning stuff, that's actually how to build a life. Like if you really want to, if you are socially afraid to make friends and stuff like that, that is a way to build a life. You could actually go about, and you don't have to even talk to any girls in the fucking bar. You can sit there and bullshit with the guys and go out there not wanting to get laid. That will get you laid. Because what will happen is you start making friends. And from there, you can bring people together, they're gonna bring friends, it's gonna turn into the whole social game shit. I mean, that's really if you wanna build a life. That's truly for me, this has really become more embodied in me wherever I fucking go. I mean, it's not just about pickup. It's about, what do I want as my experiences in my life? Because I've had it where I've met really fucking cool people just out at the bar. And it's led into awesome things, like I met a tattoo artist that fucking did some tattoos for me. I had it where I've got hooked up on clothing because I met some chick that owns a store. And since I was an awesome person, even though she was in a relationship, she gave me discounts. I mean, shit like this. It's just like interaction, social, just socializing with people. I wanted to go through a lot more shit, but I don't have the time. Oh, one reason that a lot of guys don't get laid is truly deep down inside, and I felt this way, is a deep-seated like feeling, belief that not worthy of it. That's why a lot of guys, like you see them, even some guys that get laid, standards are low, they shoot for like the floor. And maybe getting laid, but it's not by what they want. And that really does come down to an inner game issue. And for that, I mean, if you do have that going on, fix that. I mean, realize that you are perfect. You are you. You are your own being. Now, like I talked about earlier, that is something that you really do need to fix, because you can be the coolest fucking guy because of routines or whatever, but eventually your armor cracks. The woman will see who you truly are, and then that's when you lose her to someone else. And God forbid, you're in love with this woman, and that shit happens. That fucking blows. That actually happened to me. Not with a woman that I was in love with, but it was my first real girlfriend that I gave my virginity to. She started developing feelings for someone else. Fell for them. I lost her to some fat guy. And that hurt. That sucked, and if you guys have had that happen, part of that is an inner game thing. And I know where you're coming from. I know how you feel about that. What am I looking at with time right now?
A little bit less than 10 minutes, 8 or 9.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna kind of speed through this.
Hey, Jared, you can save your Q&A for the Q&A panel. So
What's up? No, that's fine. One thing I do want to throw out there, what I do plan on doing is since I have the capability to travel around, it looks like I'm gonna be going to Vegas in September and probably gonna move there. I'm also interested in actually, helping and giving talks and just being there for other guys. I have it on Tuesday. I'm going to South Florida because I have a lair talk there. Anyone that's watching this here that's a part of a lair that wants a lair talk, feel free to contact me and try to arrange some so I could either do like a road trip over there so I can still work, get my ass there, all that shit, and I'd be more than willing to come speak. I have no problem with that. I just kind of want to get that out the way. Let's see here. Real quick, you said I have like 10 minutes. Things that I do talk about that actually does make a difference, and it comes down to like framing, is yes, I build a connection with a woman. Like, I want her to know who the fuck I am. Like, because I've run across that where, like it's been said before, the girl's like, why do you like me? Or, but I don't know you. Well, that means you just haven't done your job. You need to build that connection. She needs to know that meat and potatoes about who you are, and you need to find some of that shit out about her too. Another thing that I do that is, women are huge into fate, deja vu, things happen for a reason, all that. I believe that too. So I talk about that. I mean, I could be talking to a girl, and I will lead it like through a story about my life. I'll be like talking about my life, boom, 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 and then I will bring it back to, this is why I'm here today, doing what I do. I talk to girls about, I've told them I'm a dating coach. And I frame it, I bring it all the way around from the fact that I was shy all the way to where it is right now. And they're cool with it. I've gone even as far as saying, the VH1 show? I'm a professional pickup artist. And the way that I frame it, just bring it around, they think it's awesome. Let's see here. Also, with fate, deja vu, and things happen for a reason, I also bring up the fact that, like, I'm proud of my upbringing and where I am today, because if I had changed one little thing, I wouldn't be having this moment here with her. Kind of bringing up the whole serendipity thing. I definitely want to make sure that this is going to be a good set that I'm going for. I prime about kissing, and I've talked about that before. Quick line about that is, oh my God, if you don't stop looking at me like that, we're going to end up making out. Then I gauge, go from there. If the boyfriend objection comes up, where she's talking about, oh, I have a boyfriend. What I bring up, and this is especially if I get a girl on a date, and then the boyfriend thing comes up, because that's kind of a weird one where it's like, you have a boyfriend, but you're out here on a date with me. Okay. If that one comes up, I end up letting her know that I'm not stopping her from leaving. I frame it as, she's here because she wants to be here. And then she ends up agreeing with that. 5 minutes, okay. And that's what that. Another thing that I talk about is living in the moment. That I can die tomorrow. And that also goes into the whole thing of me talking about how I don't want to be like a 65-year-old man, that regrets life. Well, what that does is, in the same sense of it, is, talking about things happen for a reason, living in the moments. I'm framing for an SNL right now with the chick, or while I'm on a date. I already talked to you about finding out her passions and desires. The reason for that, obviously, is the emotional connection. Talking about acting on impulse, because women are emotionally impulsive. I mean, they just act on a whim. So I talk about how I listen to my gut, my heart, it never steers me wrong. And then I could be talking about how, like, that's the reason why I wanted your phone number for, and I wanted to get to know you better, blah, 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 whatever. And then I frame it like I understand her. Another thing is I start talking about, like, connection, like with people. Like, I'll be talking about, like, comfortability. And, like, I feel really comfortable with a lot of people, period. And so I'll be talking to a girl, and I will get her to verbally, verbally tell me that she's, comfortable with me, because I'll put it out there first. And I do that with everything. If a girl gives you, like, a bad answer, like, you're like, okay, so what do you, what's your, like, dreams, desires, blah, blah. And she gives you kind of like a one-word answer, like, oh, I want to be a veterinarian. That's weak. There's no investment in that. Like, usually what I'll end up doing in a situation like that is, if the girl's like, I ask her, what do you want to do with your life, blah, 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 blah. See, with me, and I'll go right into that, and I'll start talking about, things that are important to me, blah, 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 because then she's going to feel more comfortable with me and obliged to follow suit and give me a very good answer, and also it shows investment. And then when I'm talking about connection, I tell her, I feel very, connected with you, blah, 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 whatever. And, oh yeah. And I get her to verbalize it too. I tell her, like, that I feel this. I'm like, don't you feel it? And she's like, yeah. And when I do it, I'll just like I'm looking at you, right in your eyes. I get her to verify that she's into me as well. And, through that, I could have been talking about, beauty's common, whatever. But I'll be also talking about how, like, I'm into her because of this and that and then and that. And then I may ask her, you tired or something? And be like, I could ask her, be like, well, like, I've been talking to you for blah, 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 blah. I don't know what you think about me, blah, blah, but what do you think about that? And, like, if I'm talking about, like, why I'm in self-help or whatever, she'd be like, oh, I think that's really cool that you want to help people, blah, 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 blah. It's the same thing of, like, making her backwards rationalize to herself why she's into me. Same thing with telling her that I'm into her. When I give compliments, when it's actually, like, in conversation with people, I talk about their personality. It's a big thing, like, because every woman in this fucking country, I don't care what they look like, they get hit on all the time about their looks. If you're talking about, like, why you like them, like, okay, I like the fact that you're funny, you're smart, you're blah, blah, blah. Everyone wants to feel that way. No one wants to feel like, this person only wants me because they think I'm hot. No girl wants that. It's kind of shallow. It's kind of like, I feel like I'm being used. The same thing with, guys. You wouldn't want someone to be your friend only because you have money. You see what I'm saying? It's kind of the same thing. They don't like your personality, but you are rich. So they want to tag along so they can reap the benefits. I got to wrap it up. I talk about confidence not neediness. Well, I'm not going to be able to get into all this. I need to wrap this up right now. Biggest thing, like I said, I'm on Facebook. You can find me there, Ratisse, PUA. My email is ratisse@gmail.com. Right now, it looks like I'm going to be dropping shit on the Charmin Rogues site, also Pick Up Evolution. If you are on the Turin sites, I drop my stuff on there as well. Feel free, download it. I hope it helps you, and feel free to give me feedback. Like, if you have questions, you have, something like, oh my God, this happened, blah, 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 and I need help with this. Feel more than welcome to shoot me an email. Cool. With that, I'm going to wrap this up. We're done. And